So the last part of our presentation, each one of us want to give you some parting thoughts. Here they are for me. Listen more, talk less. I absolutely wish I'd done this. It did become my mantra pretty soon into my son's problematic use. It was just sort of like, shut up, Angie, and it always served me well. I never regretted keeping my mouth shut. The other thing that I've learned is children and parents are doing the best they can with the coping skills that they have in the moment. It can be bad behavior, but it's actually lack of coping skills as well. And when they develop these coping skills, the behavior improves. And that includes for parents as well. And most of us can look back at something we've done and have regret. So it's important to forgive your child if they're harming you, forgive yourself if you think you could have handled something better, and move on. Be the squeaky wheel, especially when it comes to advocacy. There aren't enough resources. You need to get in there and try to elbow your way in and make sure your kid gets the help they need, and certainly in terms of advocacy. And the last thing is, this too shall pass. That became another mantra for me when things seemed really bleak. And I can tell you, they always did pass. Sometimes got a little worse before they got better, but it really did pass. So over to Louise.
All right. So my parting thoughts and my lessons learned is,
sorry about that.
Anger really doesn't help. And I did want to talk about that in my skills learned, but boy, did I learn that one, because what anger does to you as a parent doesn't put you in a great spot, makes your blood pressure rise, makes you, look to your child like you're a demon, and your child starts to not listen. So check in with yourself, take a pause, hit the pause button, because we know that anger doesn't help. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way. Empathy. I did talk a little bit about empathy, but I saw some shifts in my daughter when I started to feel empathy for her. And then the last one is that shame. Oh, wow. Shame is carried by all of us. It's a barrier that keeps us from seeking help for ourselves and help for our loved one. And I'm not only talking about shame that the parents or the family members carry around. Imagine the shame of your child who uses and does things that are less than desirable, the shame that they feel for their behaviors. So if we have shame, empathy goes a long way. And that's normal to have shame. We need to work through it and reach out for help. You're not alone. Sid?
Yep. Can you advance this? Thank you. That's great. So these are my three that I really did think were important. Honoring their perspective. I think that's really important. Whatever they're telling you, it is their perspective. And they're coming from a sick brain and we're coming from a healthy brain. And so it's different. So just validate, let them know that they've been heard. That's really important. And respect was huge with my son. As soon as I stopped that anger and those behaviors and really started respecting and honoring and validating what he was going through, it was kind of a game changer. And then hope is one that I think is extremely important and goes along with that shame. We need to take the shame off their shoulders and replace it with hope, because they don't have hope. The stigmas, everything that's going on, the providers that are doing it, society that does it, family that does it, we need to let them know they're good people, that there's great chance for them to get hope. One of the really great strategies I did quickly with my son was I got him to do one of those boards where we stick all these ideas up on it. And I wanted him to have an idea, 5-year plan. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Forget about this illness, but what does this great life look like? And we did it in great detail. And then I said, what's your first step to get there? Because we can get there. And he had hope, and every little step along the way we got really excited about and celebrated. And 5 years later, he was living exactly his dream. So hope is a very powerful tool.